19, Western Queensland. 2 returned Australian Flying Corps officers, Hudson Fish and Paul McGuinness, traversing the outback in a Model T Ford, come upon an idea: to carry mail, freight and passengers over the sparse, arid landscape by aeroplane. 1920, and a new company is born in Winton and registered in Brisbane. In 1921, Qantas moves operations to nearby Longreach. Once Qantas moves to Longreach, the plan is for a fleet costing £10,000, with spare engines, propellers, workshops, tools, lathes, a truck and hangars.
Estimates went hell west and crooked.
Fergus McMaster, Chairman. To raise capital, McGuinness, Fish and engineer Arthur Baird fly their 2 aircraft, offering joyrides and barnstorming at rural events. One passenger, a Mr. Murray, shoots 2 turkeys from the plane, thus opening up a novel use for aviation. At Urundandry picnic races, not only does McGuinness attend the race meeting and take up a number of passengers, he also rides the winner in the main race. In just a few months, Qantas has its first airmail route from Charleville to Cloncurry and its first passenger, the #1 ticket holder, 84-year-old Alexander Kennedy. He climbs aboard the aircraft unassisted while declaring,
"Be damned to the doubters."
Flying with Qantas regularly until age 97, he may just be our first frequent flyer. And so much for a doubtful postmaster who in 1919 said, "The whole question of airmail is absolutely impractical. Unless I'm very much mistaken, Australia will be the last country in the world to require it." There's no waiting rooms or surgeries in this neck of the woods, so in 1928, Qantas and the Royal Flying Doctor Service, as it later becomes known, provide their own. Broken hips and split lips are all par for the course for pilot Arthur Affleck and Dr. St. Vincent Welsh on their daily rounds of the outback. Today, a new aircraft arrives in the outback, and it has a wonderful feature, an onboard toilet. Now this really is luxury. The aircraft will operate to Brisbane on a Sunday, leaving Longreach at 5:30 a.m. and arriving the same day at 3:30 p.m. There are 5 stops along the way, and the airfare to Brisbane is only £14, just about 3 weeks' average wage. Marvellous. 1935, the first passenger flight takes off on what will become known as the kangaroo route, reportedly named because of the many hops and stops to change aircraft and staff. Day 3, cross the 500-mile span of the Timor Sea. By flying below 100 feet, we take advantage of the trade winds. We look below and see enormous turtles, flying fish, and very large sharks. Overnight on Lombok after refueling in Kopang. Day 4. In flight, Captain Scotty Allen serves sandwiches and tea from his thermos, but then earns the displeasure of the company after showing up for a 10 p.m. dinner in Batavia in pajamas. 1938, and QEA, Qantas Empire Airways, as it's now known, operates the short C-class flying boats in modern luxury and comfort. And what's more, the trip only takes 9 days, which includes 70 hours of flying and 36 stops. Built for comfort and safety rather than speed, the aircraft offers its 15 passengers the most luxurious saloons ever prepared in an aircraft. Getting up out of his chair, a passenger could walk about, and if he'd been seated in the main cabin, could stroll along to the smoking cabin for a smoke. On the promenade deck, there was also a practical usable space where quoits or even golf were played, and child passengers could also play. There is even a demand for fishing lines at refueling stops, where both passengers and crew members can enjoy the relaxation of dropping a line over the side. The service to Singapore and Southampton only lasts just over 13 months before the outbreak of World War II in September 1939. The Qantas fleet has been commissioned for war service by the Australian government, although one overseas service remains, Perth to Ceylon using Catalina flying boats. Flight crossing times on the 3,300-mile journey average about 28 hours. It's still dark, and 30 minutes out, we've only achieved a height of 2,400 feet. With the load of fuel required for this flight, that's all we can do for now. It seems we're over enemy water, and radio silence is essential. 24 hours, and we've seen our second sunrise. This is getting beyond a joke. Touchdown Coquelin, Ceylon. 31 hours and 45 minutes out from Perth. At the conclusion of the flight, each passenger is given an illustrated certificate entitling them to membership in the rare and secret order of the Double Sunrise, as they've now been airborne for more than 24 hours. The future has arrived at Qantas with the sleek new Constellation L749. Connie has two very important features: a pressurized cabin that can accommodate up to 64 passengers, and for the first time, female flight hostesses. The in-flight technical staff and cabin crew operate the whisper-quiet aircraft to London in under 4 days. What will they think of next? Then in 1954, there was the royal visit of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip in a specially fitted Constellation. In case one was bored on board, there was always a choice of cribbage, cards, chess and solitaire. Melbourne prepares for the excitement of the 1956 Olympic Games. But there's a problem. How does one get the Olympic flame from Athens to Melbourne? How do you get a flame on a plane? Well, it's all in a day's work for the clever folk of Qantas, who've adapted a miner's lamp to carry the flame safely. So, let the games begin. After Australia and the Olympics, Super Connie decides to conquer the world. In January 1958, starting from Sydney, the Southern Aurora flies east on the Southern Cross route via the US, while Southern Zephyr travels the Kangaroo route west. And passengers, if you're tired, take a snooze in our sleeper seats. See you back here in 6 days, girls.
One ticket like this can take you to Europe, America, the Far East, Africa. So widespread, so efficient is the Qantas organization that, if you wish, you can buy one ticket for luxury travel to practically every country in the free world. One straightforward booking, and all your stopovers, connections, and timing problems are completely solved. The world is yours when you fly with Qantas.
Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that tile? Isn't it a nubby one? I kinda like the style. I should like to have one just the same as that. Then where the
Grab your hat and go to London with Qantas.
Attention jet setters! Flying time to London and San Francisco has been cut by almost half. Qantas has just given passengers an extra day's holiday. Feeling peckish? Well, here's a sample of our in-flight dining. Anyone care for le crustacé à la moselle? Or perhaps the chicken with mushrooms and potatoes? Très bien! And we flew with the stars. Elton John, Ava Gardner, Shirley Bassey, Fred Astaire, Gregory Peck, Noel Coward, Charlie Chaplin, Bob Hope. And who could ever forget Skippy? It's our people that make us a great company. The founders, our first engineers, maintenance, safety, flight crews, it's their strength of character, their resilience, tenacity, and pioneering spirit. At Qantas, our success has never been the result of luck or coincidence. We retain an inextricable link to our people and our birthplace. We acknowledge the past so we can plan for the future. We are the custodians of a brand, born in 1920 from courage and determination. Our first passenger, Alexander Kennedy's words in 1922, still ring true today. Be damned to the doubters.